Skanderbeg, the Dragon of Albania and the Fight for Freedom. Good evening, everyone, time travelers. Before we begin, we invite you, as always, to subscribe to our channel to continue supporting us and helping us grow. Thank you for your support and happy listening. Today we take you back through the centuries to explore the extraordinary life of Skanderbeg, also known as George Kastrioti, the legendary Albanian hero who challenged the mighty Ottoman Empire in the 15th century. From hostage to symbol of freedom, Skanderbeg became a beacon of hope for his people, leaving an indelible mark on history. This is the story of the Dragon of Albania, a man whose determination and courage transformed the destiny of his land. Born in the year 1405 in Croia, northern Albania, then under Ottoman control, Skanderbeg came from a noble family. His father, a feudal lord, was a vassal of the Ottomans. As part of the practice known as devshirme, or blood tax, young George was sent to the Ottoman court in Adrianople in both 1415 and 1423 to ensure his father's loyalty. There, he received a comprehensive education that included languages, literature, Islamic teachings, and military training. This period provided him with a thorough understanding of Ottoman tactics and strategies, skills that would be vital in his future fight for Albania's independence. Despite his education and his growing role in the Ottoman administration, Skanderbeg remained true to his Albanian origins. His deep loyalty to his homeland and his desire to free it from oppression became the pillars of his rebellion. His skill in battle and his charisma earned him the title of Safi, a professional knight, and brought him under the direct attention of Sultan Murad II, who honored him with the name Alexander in reference to Alexander the Great for his exploits. His extraordinary strength and skill were described by contemporaries, such as historian Martin Barletti. In a clash at the Ottoman court, Skanderbeg demonstrated his valor by beheading an opponent in a duel, earning him further respect and trust. However, despite his successes in the Ottoman army and his role as governor of the Sanjak of Dibra, Skanderbeg found himself increasingly at odds with the empire's oppression of his people. This internal strife led him to a decision that would change Albania's history and make his name immortal. Skanderbeg, with great cunning, used a fake letter signed in the name of Sultan Murad to convince the Turkish governor of Croia to hand over the city to him. That day marked Skanderbeg's return to his homeland and the recapture of the castle of Croia. Once he had taken possession of the city, he declared war on his former Ottoman masters. His banner, which depicted a double-headed eagle, became a symbol of resistance and identity for Albanians. This image, meaningful to his family and inspired by the Roman Empire, embodied the Albanian people's refusal to submit to Ottoman rule and Islam. Skanderbeg abandoned Islam, returning to Christianity, and ordered those who had converted to Islam, including Muslim settlers, to return to the Christian faith or face severe consequences. In March of the year 1444, he convened the historic Assembly of Lesja, a pivotal event in the struggle for Albanian independence. During the assembly, Skanderbeg gave a passionate speech, stressing the importance of Albanian unity and identity against Ottoman rule. His eloquence and charisma convinced Albanian noble families to unite in the common cause, leading to the creation of the League of Lesja, a defensive military alliance. Skanderbeg was unanimously elected as leader, cementing his leading role in the Albanian resistance. The threat of the League did not escape Sultan Murad, who sent his experienced commander Ali Pasha with 40,000 men to crush it. Skanderbeg, with an army of 15,000 men, faced the invasion. The two forces clashed on the plain of Torval on June 29th. Anticipating the enemy's moves, Skanderbeg positioned his troops at the foot of a hill, and when Ali ordered the assault, executed a devastating ambush with soldiers hidden in the forests. The Ottomans suffered very heavy losses. 8,000 soldiers were killed and 2,000 captured. This historic victory resonated throughout Europe as one of the first significant defeats of the Ottomans in pitched battle on European soil. The following year, in 1445, Skanderbeg won another crushing victory over the Ottomans at Mokra. His military campaigns demonstrated extraordinary strategic and tactical prowess, earning him a reputation as a brilliant commander. Despite the victories, challenges continued. In 1448, the Ottomans captured the fortress of Svetigrad, a severe blow to the Albanian resistance. Skanderbeg attempted to counter them, but the loss of the fortress weakened the morale of the League of Lesja. However, his indomitable spirit and charismatic leadership continued to inspire the Albanian people, making Skanderbeg an enduring symbol of struggle and resilience. In 1450, Sultan Murad sent 100,000 of his best soldiers to lay siege to Croia, a siege that would culminate in one of Skanderbeg's greatest feats of endurance. The Ottoman army built 10 enormous cannons, capable of hurling rocks weighing up to 200 and 400 pounds, but the fortress's strategic location on a mountain greatly reduced the effectiveness of the bombardment. The cannons could only be fired 2 or 3 times a day, and with poor accuracy. After 4 days of bombardment, a breach was finally made, and the Sultan ordered his troops to cross the walls. However, the Albanian garrison repelled the assault and repaired the damaged walls. Skanderbeg took advantage of the dusk to lead a raid on the Ottoman camp, destroying the enemy reserves and killing many soldiers, almost risking his life. When he returned to his men, his shield was so damaged that it was unrecognizable, demonstrating once again Skanderbeg's courage and direct involvement in the fighting. A second Ottoman assault, involving the use of spears to break through the gates, was successfully repelled. After heavy losses and without significant progress, Murat called a council with his generals and decided to lift the siege on October 26th, due to the approaching winter. The Ottomans had suffered 20,000 casualties, while the Albanians lost about 1,000 men. While returning to Turkey, Sultan Murad died, leaving the throne to his son Mehmet, who would go down in history as Mehmet the Conqueror. Legend has it that during the siege, Skanderbeg used a cunning tactic. He sent out a herd of goats with candles tied to their horns, deceiving the Turks and luring them into a trap. After the victory, Skanderbeg commemorated the event by drawing a helmet with a goat's head. In 1451, Alfonso V, King of Aragon and Naples, welcomed Skanderbeg as his vassal, offering him military support in exchange for his services as captain general. This arrangement would provide the Albanians with a valuable ally against the growing Ottoman threats. However, the Ottoman threat intensified with Mehmet the Conqueror, who captured Constantinople in 1453. He then turned his attention to the Balkans and Italy, seeking to crush Albanian resistance. Skanderbeg faced a crushing defeat at Berat, where a tactical error led to the destruction of 5,000 Albanian horsemen. Despite the heavy blow, Skanderbeg continued to fight with determination. In 1457, he managed to defeat a much larger Ottoman army, once again demonstrating his tactical genius and courage that earned him titles such as Champion of Christ and Dragon of Albania. Later, Skanderbeg concluded a 3-year truce with the Ottomans, taking advantage of the opportunity to lead a military expedition to Italy to help King Ferdinand, Alfonso's successor, consolidate his kingdom. Even on foreign soil, Skanderbeg proved himself a capable commander, defeating the Italian forces and securing the throne for his ally. This series of events cemented his reputation as one of the greatest military and political leaders of the 15th century. King Ferdinand of Naples was grateful to Skanderbeg for his intervention and, upon the death of the Albanian hero, rewarded his descendants with the castle of Trani. After consolidating the situation in Naples, Skanderbeg returned to Albania to face the Ottoman movements. Sultan Mehmet sent 3 armies to defeat him, but Skanderbeg defeated them all, forcing the Sultan to accept a 10-year truce. Despite this, Skanderbeg was against peace, but his friend and Albanian nobleman Tanas Topia, tired of the war, supported the agreement. Tanas himself went to Duino to explain to the Pope that Skanderbeg would be ready to take up arms again if requested. In November 1463, Pope Pius attempted to organize a new crusade against the Ottomans. Skanderbeg responded immediately to the Pope's appeal, declaring war on the Ottomans on November 27th of that year. 3 years later, in 1466, Sultan Mehmet personally led an army of 30,000 men into Albania and laid the second siege of Croia. Despite months of destruction and casualties, Mehmet, like his father before him, realized that the fortress of Croia could not be taken by force. Retreating to Istanbul, he left a force of 30,000 men to maintain the siege, building a castle nearby. Skanderbeg spent the winter in Italy, seeking financial support from the Pope for his struggle. In a famous letter he wrote, "I am a friend of virtue, not of fortune," stressing that his only interest was the freedom of his homeland. Returning to Croia, Skanderbeg managed to lift the siege, raising the morale of the Albanian people. However, Mehmet returned with a new offensive, inflicting heavy losses on the civilian population. In January 1468, during a meeting with Albanian nobles to discuss new strategies, Skanderbeg fell ill and died on January 17th, at the age of 62. His death marked the decline of Albanian resistance. Within 10 years, Croia fell, and Albania remained under Ottoman control until the 19th century. However, the legend of Skanderbeg, the dragon of Albania, lives on as a symbol of courage and determination. His life, from Ottoman captivity to leading the resistance, represents the indomitable spirit of a people who never stopped fighting for freedom. Skanderbeg continues to inspire all who fight for justice and independence, reminding us that one individual with an unshakable will can change the course of history. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, leave a like, share it, and let us know what you think in the comments.